Tarun Garg, from Uttar Pradesh to Hyundai, the journey of an Indian who made history. Just imagine, a global company from South Korea that operated in India for 29 years but never handed over its top seat to an Indian. And then one day, the company announced, now, the steering of Hyundai India will be in Indian hands. That was the moment when a new name emerged, Tarun Garg. A name that not only changed the history of Hyundai Motor India, but also ignited a new hope across the entire Indian automobile industry, that leadership positions are no longer reserved only for foreigners. Indians can rise to the top too. But the question is, who is Tarun Garg? How did a man from a small town climb all the way to a chair that even some of the biggest corporate giants never dared to dream of? The story begins in the lanes of Uttar Pradesh. Born into a humble family, young Tarun was fascinated by engines and mechanisms since childhood. He loved dismantling things just to understand how they worked and why they moved. For his friends, it was merely a hobby. But for Tarun, this curiosity would soon define his identity. His studies in mechanical engineering from Delhi Technological University gave direction to his hunger for understanding machines. Later, when he completed his MBA from IIM Lucknow, that same curiosity evolved, taking the shape of strategy and vision. This was the beginning of the journey that would eventually take him to the very top of corporate India. The year was 1995. India's automobile sector was beginning to fill up with global bratsa. Maruti, Tata, Mahindra, and several foreign companies were racing to capture the market. Tarun Garg began his career with Maruti Suzuki. There, he not only learned the ropes of sales and marketing, but also mastered the art of understanding the Indian customer. For him, selling a car was never just a transaction. It was an emotion. He often said, an Indian doesn't just buy a car. He buys his first comfort zone of dreams. He spent more than 25 years at Maruti. And during this time, he proved his expertise in every department: parts, logistics, accessories, sales, marketing, and beyond. Slowly, his name began echoing across the industry as a sharp strategist with a deep understanding of India's consumer psyche. Then came the year 2019. Hyundai Motor India Limited, the country's second-largest car company, was looking for a leader who could connect the brand not just with numbers, but with people's hearts. And the name chosen was Tarun Garg. He took charge as the head of sales, service marketing. From day one, his vision was crystal clear. Hyundai should not just be a car, it should be a name people trust. He began transforming things from the ground up, turning dealerships from mere sales centers into experience zones, and treating customers not as buyers but as brand ambassadors. Then came 2020, and the world came to a halt. The pandemic shook every industry. Car sales dropped, factories stopped. But Tarun Garg turned this crisis into an opportunity. He said, people will now prioritize safety, and the demand for personal mobility will rise. His foresight proved absolutely right. Under his direction, Hyundai became the fastest recovering automobile company after the lockdown. Through the strategic relaunch of models like the i20, Venue, and Creta, and by introducing a digital car buying experience, he gave customers the confidence to purchase cars without even stepping into a showroom. Hyundai's sales graph began to soar again, and the company went on to record 3 consecutive years of record-breaking sales and profits. But the biggest magic of Tarun Garg's leadership lay in the way he connected with people. He would often tell his employees, "We don't sell machines, we sell smiles." He humanized the corporate culture, empowering every salesperson, giving every dealer a voice. For the first time, Hyundai's marketing campaigns reflected the true Indian emotion. Whether it was the Made for India philosophy or the rural reach strategy, Tarun Garg successfully placed the brand not only on India's roads but also in the hearts of its people. In 2023, Hyundai appointed him as the Chief Operating Officer, 𝐴, and from that moment on, his pace was nothing short of a turbo engine. During his tenure, Hyundai completed its largest IPO in India's history, a milestone not just for the company, but for the entire Indian automobile industry. At the same time, Hyundai made an aggressive entry into the EV segment. Tarun Garg remarked, India's future is electric, but emotion is still fueled. Working with this hybrid philosophy, he perfectly balanced every segment, from petrol to EV, ensuring that Hyundai stayed relevant, resilient, and ready for the future. Hyundai's global CEO Jose Munoz once said, Tarun Garg is not just a manager, he's a movement. He further added, under his leadership, the company delivered record profits for 3 consecutive years and topped the customer satisfaction index in the Indian automobile sector. He is a leader who inspires people, not intimidates them. And that's exactly why, at the end of 2025, Hyundai made a historic announcement. From January 2026, Tarun Garg would become the Managing Director and CEO of Hyundai Motor India. For the first time ever, an Indian would occupy a seat that had always belonged to foreigners. But behind this massive success lies another story, one of patience and perseverance. Tarun often says, success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of small, consistent steps taken every day. Every step of his journey reflects that belief. He never chose shortcuts. He built his own path. When he was a junior executive at Maruti, he personally took customer calls. Even after becoming 𝐴 at Hyundai, he continued to visit the field every week, talking to mechanics, dealers, and sales staff. His philosophy was simple yet powerful. The moment you stop listening to voices on the ground, decisions from the top stop making sense below. His emotional connection with Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, still remains strong to this day. The years he spent at IIM Lucknow taught him an invaluable lesson. Strategy isn't created in boardrooms. It's built from ground reality. Even today, whenever he visits IIM as a guest lecturer, he tells students the greatest skill in the corporate world is empathy, understanding your consumer, your colleague, and your country. Perhaps this empathy is the most powerful secret ingredient of his leadership. In Hyundai's 5-year roadmap, Tarun Garg's vision is clearly reflected. The company has announced a 45,000 crore investment in India, which includes EV manufacturing, local R&D, battery localization, and establishing India as a global export hub. Tarun Garg firmly believes that India is no longer just a market. It's now a manufacturing power. His vision is bold and inspiring. India will not just drive cars. India will drive the future. According to him, Hyundai India must achieve carbon-neutral operations and cross 25% EV sales ratio within the next 5 years. This means his focus isn't just on business growth, but on sustainable growth. However, like every journey, Tarun Garg's path wasn't free of challenges. When he joined Hyundai, the automobile industry was at its peak competition phase. Brands like Kia, AMG, and Tata were fiercely battling to outdo each other. In such an environment, maintaining Hyundai's strong identity was no easy task. But Tarun changed the game. He said, "We won't compete with others. We'll improve ourselves." And that very mindset took Hyundai into an entirely different league. He turned every launch into a celebration and every customer feedback into an opportunity for improvement. In 2024, when India's auto market crossed 4 million units, Hyundai's market share stood at around 15%, and the biggest credit for that went to Tarun Garg's strategy. He led an aggressive expansion into rural India, built a dedicated charging ecosystem for EVs, and strengthened the youth connection through the Smart India, Smart Mobility campaign. He firmly believes if a company wants to survive in the long run, it must understand the mindset of the next generation. He often says, a car isn't just a product, It's an upgrade in someone's life. When a middle-class family buys a new car, they're not just buying a vehicle, they're buying a new chapter of self-respect. Such words don't come from an economist, but from a sensitive leader who truly understands the pulse of ordinary Indians. When asked in an interview, how does it feel to become the Dhamdi of Hyundai India? He smiled and said, "This isn't my personal achievement. It's the victory of every young Indian who wants to rise through hard work." His humility and grounded mindset are what set him apart from other leaders. He dedicates every success to his team and takes full responsibility for every failure, a rare quality that defines true leadership.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.